She discovered two elements the world had never seen before. She won 2 Nobel Prizes. She changed medicine, chemistry, and physics forever. But the thing she spent her life studying was invisible, and it was slowly destroying her. This is the story of Marie Curie, the woman who became one of the greatest scientists in history, while unknowingly carrying the weapon that would eventually kill her. Before she was Marie Curie, she was Maria Skłodowska, a girl growing up in Warsaw. Her parents were teachers, and education was everything to her family. But Poland was under Russian rule, and her family struggled financially. Then, when Maria was only 11, her older sister died of typhus. Not long after, her mother died of tuberculosis. She threw herself into studying. At 15, she finished school with the highest honors. But there was one enormous problem. She was a woman, and the education she desperately wanted was not easily available to her. So Maria made a decision. If Poland would not give her the education she wanted, she would leave Poland to find it. In 1891, at 24, Maria arrived in Paris to study physics and mathematics at the Sorbonne. She had come to build a life around science, but she wasn't rich. Her early years in Paris were difficult, and the Curie family's own account describes poor laboratory conditions and the need for extensive teaching to make a living. Still, she kept studying. And then, in 1894, she met a scientist named Pierre Curie. The following year, they married. But this wasn't simply a love story. Something much bigger was about to happen, because in 1896, another scientist had made a strange discovery. Henri Becquerel had found that uranium was giving off mysterious rays, and Marie Curie wanted to know why. Marie began measuring radiation from different substances, and then she found something that made no sense. A mineral called pitchblende was far more radioactive than the amount of uranium inside it could explain. Think about that. If uranium was producing the radiation, why was the mineral more radioactive than uranium itself? Marie didn't ignore the contradiction. She followed it. And her conclusion was extraordinary. There had to be another radioactive substance hidden inside the mineral. Pierre abandoned his own research and joined her investigation. Now they weren't simply studying radiation. They were hunting for something no one had ever seen before, and what they found would change science forever. In 1898, Marie and Pierre announced the discovery of a new radioactive element. Marie named it polonium after her homeland, Poland, but they weren't finished, because the pitchblende was still hiding something, another substance, something even more radioactive. They called it radium, but discovering radium was only the beginning. Now, Marie had to prove that it actually existed, and that meant doing something brutally difficult, isolating it. The work was exhausting. The Curies worked under inadequate laboratory conditions, processing enormous quantities of pitchblende residues to isolate tiny amounts of radioactive material. The 1911 Nobel presentation speech described the process as long and arduous, and noted that several tons of pitchblende were required. Imagine spending years processing tons of material for something you could barely see. And Marie kept going. Eventually, in 1910, she succeeded in producing pure metallic radium. The existence of the new element could no longer be dismissed. Then came the recognition, the Nobel Prize. But Marie's life was about to collapse. In 1903, Marie Curie became the first woman to receive a Nobel Prize. She shared the Physics Nobel with Pierre Curie and Henri Becquerel for their work on radiation. Finally, the woman who had fought so hard for an education had reached the highest level of scientific recognition. But just 3 years later, everything changed. Pierre Curie died suddenly in a street accident. Marie had lost her husband, her scientific partner, the father of her children, and now she was alone. So what did she do? She took his place. After Pierre's death in 1906, Marie succeeded him at the Sorbonne, becoming the first woman to hold that professorship. She could have walked away. She didn't. She continued the research, and 5 years later, she achieved something almost unimaginable: another Nobel Prize. This time, in chemistry. She was now the first person ever to win 2 Nobel Prizes. But even that wasn't the end of the story. Because while the world celebrated her, the world was still learning what radiation could do. Marie Curie believed science should be used to help people. Her research helped establish the medical potential of radiation. Then World War I began, and Marie didn't simply watch from a laboratory. She helped develop and organize mobile X-ray units, vehicles that could bring X-ray technology closer to wounded soldiers on the battlefield. They became known as the Little Curies. Think about the irony. The invisible radiation she had spent years studying was now being used to save lives. But there was something Marie didn't fully understand yet. The same invisible force she was using to help humanity was hurting her. Today, we understand the dangers of prolonged exposure to ionizing radiation. Marie Curie did not have that knowledge. She worked with radioactive materials for years. She handled substances whose dangers were not yet understood. She carried radioactive samples. She even kept some radioactive materials close because their glow fascinated her. But the consequences were coming. Her health deteriorated. And in 1934, Marie Curie died at the age of 66. The Nobel Foundation records her cause of death as aplastic anemia, a blood disease associated with heavy radiation exposure. The scientist who spent her life studying radiation had finally paid the price. But here's the part that almost sounds impossible. Marie Curie's laboratory notebooks are still radioactive today. The science she created changed medicine, changed chemistry, changed physics, and changed humanity's understanding of the atom.
She became the authority granted by the Board of Chancellors. I take the greatest pleasure and honor in presenting to Madame Curie the gold medal of our college, the highest mark of distinction which we can confer upon anyone. And you, Madame Curie, has given to the world, more than any other single individual, that which we radiologists have longed for, the wonderful agent which has done more for the treatment of cancer than anything else in this wide world. We are deeply grateful to you, and we appreciate your coming here for this honor, which we're glad to bestow upon you. I'm trying to get this over your head.
Du Collège américain de radiologie et de la Société américaine de radiologie pour le témoignage d'estime qu'elle m'a apporté ici et auquel je suis extrêmement sensible.